أولاً انتهينا بالإجماع إلى تحديد العوامل الرئيسية التي تعوق التصنيع في إفريقيا. ثانياً اتفقنا على أن الافتقار إلى الروابط الإقليمية بين دول القارة وارتباط الشركات الأجنبية القائمة في غالبية دول إفريقيا بكبريات الشركات العالمية في مجالات الإنتاج والتسويق يمثل العقبة الرئيسية التي تعترض نمو حركة التصنيع الأفريقية. أرجو أن لقد اتضحت هذه الإرادة في ميثاق الاستقلال الاقتصادي الذي صدر عن رؤساء دول منظمة الوحدة الإفريقية في مؤتمرهم العاشر الذي عقد في أديس أبابا مايو سنة 73، كما بالمؤتمر الثالث لدول عدم الانحياز الذي عقد في الجزائر في سبتمبر 73. جهود التنمية لكي تصبح مرتبطة ارتباطا وثيقا بالمشكلات العالمية للتصنيع ومشكلات الدول الفقيرة، وإن لقارتنا إفريقيا موارد مطلوبة داخل إفريقيا وخارجها، ومن ثم انتهينا إلى ضرورة تعبئة الموارد المالية في إفريقيا ذاتها. وإننا على ثقة من أن تواصل اللجنة الاقتصادية لإفريقيا ومنظمة الأمم المتحدة للتنمية الصناعية بالاشتراك مع منظمة الوحدة الإفريقية تقديم المساعدات المجدية، وأن تظهر إخلاصها الطيب الذي طالما دللت عليه في مناسبات عدة متعددة القومية في إفريقيا. سابعا، إننا نؤمن بضرورة تحقيق التعاون على نطاق واسع بين مختلف المنتجين الإفريقيين. وإيجازا أبرز هذا المؤتمر اعتماد الدول الإفريقية على أنفسها، حيث أن الاعتماد على النفس سيادة الرئيس محمد أنور السادات رئيس جمهورية مصر العربية القاهرة
become a permanent feature of the work program of the Commission. The meeting also recommended close ties between ECA and UNIDO and OAU. This is the second recommendation. That's why this conference is sponsored by UNIDO, which is the United Nations principal organ for the promotion of industrialization, by OAU, representing the African heads of state and their decisions, and ECA, in whose setting the decisions were taken. Also, the recommendations included efforts at cooperation, that is, in some cases sponsoring jointly or by a number of African countries a single project. And this is partly because of the smallness of the markets of most African countries. Even before that meeting, a project has been formulated which was supported both by ECA and UNIDO for a West African iron and steel complex covering practically all the 14 countries of West Africa. Here, We've also, as the background to the meeting and as part of the preparation for the second one, we have been trying to identify the particularly African problems which we should raise in Lima. The details of these I will leave to my other colleagues. But there are problems which are peculiar to Africa. I should say, just to give one example, 16 of the least developed countries of the world, 16 out of 24, are found in Africa. And some of the general concessions made do not benefit or touch these countries at all. We will have to find out what international formula can be established, at least to enable these countries to benefit from such concessions.
To be held in Lima in 1975, we consider this second conference of African Ministers of Industry to be, in fact, one of the most important preparatory meetings for the Conference of Lima. And we hope that within the next few months there will be similar meetings of ministers of industry in the Arab countries. This is already decided to be held in Tripoli, Libya, in April 1974. There will be a similar ministerial meeting for Latin American countries in September of 1974.
Are going to be realized. So I think I'll have to hold and wait until some other questions are asked, because the questioner asked some specific questions which have been thoroughly dealt with by my two colleagues. I may come in later if there are questions on the position of the African continent on some of the problems which we have discussed at this conference. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
With regard to the indispensable integration and cooperation needed in the field of economic development. Now the question is, will this have any impact, or what will be the impact on the project level of that matter? Will there be an impact in a way that perhaps changes, shifts in projects relating to inter-country cooperation in Africa will turn out to be, and will this be a matter which can be seen in, which will be dealt with in ECA, or what would be the platform for eventual shifts having regard to a more intense cooperation between African countries on the corresponding project level? In other words, would there be a shift in projects? Would there be some new projects which would take into account this recommendation? Well, and if I may just put this other question.
I know that a few countries, but one which is likely to mature more quickly is a cement project which is being sponsored jointly by Ghana and Togo. Here, even in terms of specific industrial enterprises, we are gaining experience.